Tony Lewis has always been active in the Charleston community, from mentoring young students to participating in school board meetings, and now is chairman of the District 20 Constituent School Board. And now he's out with a new initiative called Motivate to Educate. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I sit down with Tony one-on-one. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. Tony Lewis, it's so good to see you.
Always a pleasure, Mr. Quintin Washington, being in your presence, sir.
Oh, thank you greatly. I appreciate it. And you know, every time I interview you for Quintin's Close-Ups, people love the interview.
Well, I'm glad, I just try to, like I said, I just try to make sure I bring the words out my mouth. My Heavenly Father put in my spirit with His people ears to hear. That's all.
And I know you want people to hear in their ears about Motivate to Educate.
Yes, sir.
And apparently it's a local group that you founded.
Yes, sir.
In which just recently you took 60 high school seniors, 20 from free high schools, to a basketball game to see the Charlotte Hornets versus the Cleveland Cavaliers in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
March 28th, Charlotte, North Carolina. 60 high school seniors. And here's Tony Lewis, Motivate to Educate. Talk to me about that experience.
Well, let me make some clarification. We reached out to, it was supposed to be 20 from each school. Burke representing Charleston County, Berkeley County was Goose Creek, and Dorchester County was Fort Dorchester. But Goose Creek dropped the ball, never answered, so we ended up getting 30 scholars from Burke, 30 students from Burke, 25 from Fort Dorchester, and the staff of Burke, and the chaperones, and the committee members from each schools, and then my guests I invited.
Well, when you go back and look back at March 28th, what still plays in your mind about that event?
This event was given the award to scholars who are academic achievement, the ones who are improving academic achievement, to pull the ones who are not academic achieving, by awarding them a trip and other things, walks in life as a life learning lesson.
Matter of fact, you said this in a press release, I believe, quote, "It is important for us as adults to provide opportunities to stimulate the children in the Title I schools to help them succeed." Talk to me more about the opportunities that you have for them.
Well, we took a bunch of them to see Cleveland, Charlotte. That was the first vision God gave me to put in my spirit to do, and other things we worked along with the WCW. They helped us out. The Family Circle Cup, they helped us out. Volvo tennis,
Right.
So there's all these exposure to help our scholars, our students, to want that for themselves, and they know what it takes. It means getting your academics in order, and the whole 9 yards, so you can thirst for that on your own. Because we did that like 20-something years ago, and it worked. It helped produce a lot of folks, merchant seamen, armed forces, pro football, pro basketball,
Right.
On their own businesses, all kind of things. I mean, it just was a tremendous honor and a pleasure to promote that with these students, that they are going and doing bigger and better things now. And that's what we want to do. We want to continue, and we want that to be like a nurture and groom things, so they can have those things to take and be productive citizens and leaders in our society. That's the whole goal.
And of course, you couldn't have done it without your sponsors.
Nope, I sure couldn't. And this just to name some of them. I have, Construction Dynamics, Eli Hyman's, Leo Sequeira's, the Mob of Republics, Akeem Nastapulu, Kevin Holmes, the Longshoreman, Dixie Furnish,
Right.
Murray Mortuary, Brownstone, Clipper Smith, Nina Boomtown, Robin Rosen, and Mr. Shaheed of Subway, and Mr. Koopman. Also, I can't forget about those guys. They've helped me a lot. And so those are the guys who are all, the folks go pitched in and help us, made that trip a success, along with Charleston Style Limousine and Inc. and I Incorporated, the guy who did the T-shirts.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if you were to sit down again with the sponsors one-on-one, what would you tell them that you'll be motivating the kids to do what next as far as education?
Well, motivation, well, we're planning to do something educational, either go to Washington DC for so they can be educated about how their government is run.
Sure.
And things of the African Museum and things like that. The veteran wall, where those veterans who put their lives on the line,
Sure.
For our scholars and our students, so they can be free, So those will be life learning lessons for them,
And besides this particular initiative, Motivate to Educate, what are you motivating yourself to do next as far as education?
I'm thinking about running for the constituent vote again, in my seat up in November. I'm thinking about it, but I'm not going to be the one to make that decision. I'm going to let the Lord put in my spirit. If He want me to do it, then the voters to vote me if they want me to be back there. I try to do a great job. I try to be your ears, eyes, and voice for you, and try to reach out in every aspect of working with our students when they have problems and situations. Not just Charleston, not just District 20, but the county-wide as a community activist.
You talk about community activists. Who is Chairman Tony Lewis?
Well, he's our person that try to work along with his other 6 constituent board members to do a great job for the citizens of Charleston and the community, and also the students and the parents and the staff, and work along with the district to get the things that our scholars need in these schools.
And when you look at the Charleston County School District, what letter grade would you give them right now?
It would be a high grade. It would be, I'd say about a C, man. A low C. Because I've not seen nothing they've done yet to help motivate and push our kids and our students and scholars in the right direction. I don't. Because it starts with them. 9 and the superintendent. It starts with them staying down there to help put the things in place for our students and scholars and the staff to have, to our scholars can be produced to be productive citizens and leaders in our society.
And you talk about society. We just lost a huge community activist recently.
Yes, Mr. Clay Hampton, a gentleman around for a long time. And just to share with you guys, this is a picture called Bridging the Gap to History. I did not know the Lord had me to did this about 10 years ago, and a bunch of them were gone now. All the pioneers of everything is gone, who helped nurture and groom our productive citizens and leaders in our society. Mr. Hampton was a major factor in our community when he came and brought the semi-pro football team here to Charleston, because he gave other young men opportunities who didn't have the opportunity to go to college and still have a chance to live their dreams out. And he was a father figure in the community. And he always, ladies and gentlemen, cared about other people, because he asked me no longer than for his death, about 3 weeks, he said, Tony, make sure you honor Mr. Oscar Fordham and Coach Earl Brown. And I honored Mr. Fordham last week at the Motivate to Educate, where a bunch of students and scholars and staff and the parents and guests was at.
Yeah, they were. And obviously, when you think of Earl Brown and his, obviously, dedication to this particular community, what plays in your mind?
Well, he's a powerful figure in this community, especially with these students, past and present students. I think we need him to maybe come out and just be that strong figure and help be that voice that he always had. He always had a strong voice. And I always looked up to him, respect him for who he is. He's a strong black king, because that's why I looked up to him as a king, and he's been a great figure in our scholars' life. It's like he been a father figure to a lot of these young men and young women in these schools,
right.
And help them in every which way that he could. So I like to, to really want to work with him about this situation with Stony Field, because I'm not going to let that situation get away.
You said no more patching.
No more patching, no repair, no Band-Aid. I'd like to continue that. And also, a thought was given by C.A. Brown to do the homecoming parade down America Street. That is a beautiful idea, great idea, and I would love for someone from C.A. Brown family to reach out to me, and I'll help bring the key players to the table so we can start putting it together now. Don't wait now. Be proactive, not reactive. We'll put it together now so we can, when that time comes, bam. Nobody can say, oh, you did, you didn't reach out the time you need to work. No, we can do it now.
And I gotta go back, and this is really coming from the Charleston Chronicle article, and this is the headline. It reads this: "Motivate to educate, to use sporting activity to stimulate learning." What is so attractive about sports that you're using this to stimulate learning for the kids?
Well, teaching the students the way of life is through sports, and sports is a team thing, team concept. That's mean you got to work together in every area it is, and work with all nationality in this world. So that means you're working together to complete a mission. And sporting is, like I said again, is a joint and a team effort, team concept. And when you get that concept, that means you can carry that concept anywhere over in life and anywhere you go in life. Because it's a team effort. Everywhere you go, you will meet people and you will work as a team to complete a mission, to be successful in this life.
And let me go back to a headline again, because if I were to write a headline about motivate to educate, what would you want that headline to be about the future of this program?
Well, the future of this program, he wants to have a program, a headline say that motivate to educate, help motivate the scholars who are not achieving academically, pushing them in the right direction. We see a change in these scholars. That's what I wanted to see. And that there, because when we were talking about this, the schools were promoting it, and believe me, the scholars who were not achieving academically, they were like, wow, I can't go, but this is why I got to do to go. So now the staff and the assistant principals and the guidance council at Fort Dorchester told me they saw a difference in some of those scholars who were not achieving academically. They want to pay attention in class now. They want to ask questions. Their attitude and everything has changed. So this motivate to educate can be a positive attitude, a positive resource and tool to help push our scholars in the right direction who are not achieving academically.
Tony Lewis, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
Thank you, Mr. Quintin.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure being in your presence.
Likewise.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.